Fixing with Friends. I'm your host, that guy you know, and today we're going to be replacing U-joints with a drive shaft of a Datsun 280Z. It's a little bit particular, this one, because it's 1975, and in a very short year range, perhaps even that specific year, it's a non-serviceable, non-replaceable U-joint, because they stopped production of the well, as far as I can find, they've stopped production of the actual replacement part. But that doesn't mean there isn't an actual replacement, and I'll show the part number that I have here. There's also some other suggestions in the forums online. Hopefully you'll be able to find something similar. Anyway, so you're replacing the original joint with what's called a staked-in joint, which means I'll show you that later. Before I tell you what actually happened, I want to just quickly remind everyone that we're trying to push quickly to 1,000 subscribers so that we can become part of the YouTube Partner Program and try and mitigate as much of the ads as possible, because we don't want ads in this video. So we're not going to put ads on until we're forced to, and even then, anyway. We have a video about that. If you're interested, take a look. We are looking at other platforms. Like I said, we don't want ads for you guys. That's a nuisance for everyone. So if you enjoy the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, anything that can help us out, we really appreciate, and we'll be more likely to keep us on the platform. Alright, so what actually happened, I had previously replaced the U-joints. I had taken it into a dealership, which ended up being a whole thing because they ended up taking it to somewhere else that I was going to take it in the first place, but they wouldn't give it back to me. Anyway, it was a large nuisance, to say the least. And so this time, I'm doing it myself. But the big question here is, why am I replacing the U-joints if I've already replaced the U-joints? Well, what happened was, I was driving to the grocery store right after the lockdown started last winter, and I came to a T-intersection. And so I had to stop and then speed up to 50 kilometers an hour to merge with traffic before it slows down at the set of lights that's within 30 meters of that. And in between there is a railroad track. So I went from a gravel-covered road, wheels spinning a little bit, trying to speed up to 50 and merge with traffic, to immediately getting 100% grip in the ruts of the train track. And what I hear is this, okay, and if you're wondering what U-joint snapping sounds like, it's a loud bang coming from the middle of your car. So that happened. Fortunately, the set of lights stayed green, so I was actually able to keep driving. There wasn't an immediate issue, so I was wondering if maybe it was just the shocks, and then it started really vibrating, then it got a lot worse. But so what had happened was, I think part of it snapped, and then the other part snapped, but it stayed coupled. And because I didn't slow down, it stayed coupled all the way up the hill towards the grocery store. But as soon as I slowed down to make the turn into the grocery store, the tension dropped and it decoupled and fell onto the ground. Now, it's often the first U-joint that snaps in the drive shaft, which is a bit of a problem. Fortunately, I was going very slowly, so this wasn't actually an issue, and I very lucky, because, this large metal shaft dropping down onto the road at highway speeds is basically like dropping a kickstand and having it be a battering ram to rip off the back end of your car. So, yes, that's dangerous, and I was very lucky. Now, I'll show you some pictures. I got a little bit of video, but yeah, anyway. So you can take a look at that.
Alright, so as I was going over some poorly placed train tracks, I mean, it's mostly my fault for trying to accelerate at a intersection near some train tracks, but it split my drive shaft. I just pulled it out. And yeah, now the flashlight's not working, so I'm going to have to turn this off.
Yeah, so that's what happened there. It was an interesting day. I ended up waiting like 4 hours or something for the tow truck, which was way longer than they said. I think they said it was going to be 40 minutes or something originally. Anyway, I think the guy just really wanted to push it off. I could have pushed the car back in the time it took. Anyway, that's done. And we're going to jump right into the work, but before that, I just want to say, if you only have access to a hammer, you can do this with a hammer and some sort of driver. I used a dowel, but ideally, you can use a C-clamp, and then it'll be a lot easier for you. Anyway, let's jump into it. Alright, so here we have the back, which bolts up to the differential, and then over at the front, like this isn't a very big drive shaft. It's maybe, I don't know, 4 feet. Yeah, 4 feet. And this is over where it snapped. So the other end is still in the car, and I'll show you that a bit later. I'll probably just cut it in here. Right up there is the drive shaft input and the yoke. Okay, now we're back. So you can see it sheared off here and here. These are just like an axis. It's not like, it's cast, so it's not super strong to begin with. Plus they're hollow, plus they're not very big. I mean, that's the measurement for this is 0.945 inches in diameter. Anyway, so for this style, there's a clip here. You got to pull this off, and then you can tap it through part way, and then you kind of pull it up and then tap the other cap out. So it's, you know, a process. But so first thing I got to do is pull these clips. I'm going to do this one, and then later when I'm ready to, once I've got a new U-joint in, I'm going to pull out the one from the car because I don't want the transmission oil leaking everywhere. So after I have the car jacked up, then I'm going to pull the input part of the shaft out of the transmission and show you guys that later. Let's see if this works. Gonna move these around. Probably not a good idea. Nope, this is going to be a bit of a struggle. Well, I'm going to keep doing what I just showed you over and over again until it works. So, literally my first attempt after turning the camera off. See, you guys watching, you ruin everything for me. Yeah, first try after turning the camera off, popped it off, shot across the room. But yeah, see if I can get the other one, same way. And I know this works because I've done it in the past with other styles. And anyway, so let's see if I can hold this. It's the best I can do. If I had one more person, this would be a lot easier. So I'm holding down on the tall one as hard as I can and just gently holding the one on the other side. And it's out. Oh, here it is. Or is it? I don't know. It shot off somewhere and we'll be gone forever. Oh, here. See? Both of them are off. Since you undoubtedly don't believe me. Alright. So now let's try tapping this out with the small hammer. Try not to block your light any more than I have to. And also try not to bag myself with this drive shaft. Well, I need to file this dowel down more because it's not even doing anything yet. Ah, son of a bitch, I wasn't recording that whole time. Okay, so I hammered it more. I hit it all the way through, then pulled it back up, which isn't exactly how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I did it, and it worked. So, there, we're done with that.
move on to other stuff. Now I've got to get something else to hammer the dowel back out. I'll grab some pliers and... Wow, so twisting it back and forth got it started, but wobbling it made it go so much faster it's embarrassing. All right, don't be lazy, just file the whole thing, or half of it. It's probably good. It's probably 1.5 inches. So the ground is soft, and I don't have another jack right now, so I can't sneak in one of these boards under it, and then the jack stand. So I've got, this is kind of a last resort. I've got the jack, and I've got the car actually resting on some boards. So I'm just gonna pull that out. Now we'll see if I lifted it high enough for this to leak out. Nope, looks good. Looks good. And as you can see, where it sheared off. Yeah. Now this side should be easier. I can just tap each one and they'll pop out. Okay. It sits on like this normally, and you'll see that once I'm done. There, see? So much easier this time. Ooh. That was much harder than I needed to hit it, and pinched my fingers. So here we have the old one and the new one. They look just about identical. They're likely the same one. They were from the same place. They're obviously from the same manufacturer. Alright, so which one do I want to put it in first? Probably over in the... Okay, I'm going to clean them up first. Alright, so here's how I'm going to do this. I put one in here, it's not tapped in at all. Then I'm going to take this and slide it in, and then tap both of them into place, because this one's got a little bit of a lip. Alright, little lip right there. So I am holding so many things right now, so I'm going to pop this in the side here, just like that. I'm going to come in from this way, slide this into the hole. Sorry, I need both hands. Slide it in like that, and then flip it over and tap it down this way. I need to double check it's lined up before I start hammering everything in. Okay, use a dowel. Just some gentle taps just to get it lined up. Feels crunchy. So, I don't know why this was clicking before, but it's not now. Whatever, someone who knows better than me will probably tell me what I did wrong. And I appreciate that. Please let me know. And I mean, it's $40 if I need to go buy another one, so not the end of the world. So before this is all the way down, I'm going to put this clip on so I don't go too far. See if I can just do it with my fingers. I kind of doubt it, especially with the camera there. There we go. I'm gonna spin it around so that it's opposite and can't come off, which is how they had it originally. There we go. And then I'm going to keep tapping till I can put the top one on. Okay, it's pretty close. I'm going to see if I can slide this clip on right now. I don't think it's quite far enough down, but we'll see. I think it is. So I'm going to try spinning it around. So to install the U-joint into the other side of the drive shaft, simply repeat the same process as we did for the first half. Just be careful, because if it starts snagging, you want to make sure everything's lined up before you hit, because if you hit and it's snagging, that means you've ruined the bearings. Which is part of why clamps are so much easier to use. Like if you use a C-clamp and one of these or a stack of coins or something, you can just squish it down, boom. I think I'm far enough now I can pop this stake down on, or the clip anyway, because this is a staked in joint. I'm assuming these are called stakes. Anyway, unimportant. I can't hold the camera and do this. But just use your imagination, and suddenly, and it will be done. Magic. Alright, just tapping the last one the rest of the way in now. Alright, last clip. Why am I even trying to do this one-handed? Just to impress you. But we all know I'm an idiot, so it's not gonna impress you anyway. Ow. I don't know if you can see, giant indent in my thumb. Alright, I'm gonna just hold this properly. Alright, so the clip is on there now. That's done. I just gotta wipe it down and pop this drive shaft in there. It's really awkward trying to show you this. There. Insertion complete. So many things I'm juggling right now. Alright. Okay. Lantern block my face, and I'll just do this blindly. There we go. I hope you appreciate the effort I put into doing this. There's one more, but you're never going to see it. So the bolt we actually tighten, well, the bolts we don't tighten, the nuts we do, and they're on the back side. You can get at it underneath the stabilizer bar, or behind I should say. It is a bit of a tedious process though, because the only thing that fits on it is an open-end wrench. Anyway, I suspect you get the point. Alright, tell me if you hear squealing or see a lot of vibration. So, we're gonna go for a drive. Alright, so you can't really see me, but it seems to be okay so far. I really should grease these with the first chance I get, so I'm gonna ask someone to bring me out my grease gun. That video didn't really work. I'm gonna have to either find someone to hold the camera for me or buy a bunch of camera equipment and one of those things is expensive.
So before you click away, I want to show you something that you should be careful about if you're going to be using a hammer and doing the same thing I did. So I'm just going to show you what went wrong, why, and how you might be able to solve the problem if you've already made the mistake before watching this video. So I'll show you guys that now.
Now, I really want to caution you from doing the same thing as I did if you're tapping the U-joint in with a hammer. I questioned if what I had done the first time was correct, so I tried to put both on from the outside at the same time, and definitely don't do that because you need to have the hub, I guess, the axle, the axis. You need to actually have the piece of metal on the U-joint inside the cap to hold the bearings in place.
Okay, so it looks like this little black cap came off. In there, this little cap is kind of holding the bearings in place so they don't go up. They can still fall outward, but it's less likely because they're kind of sticky. Anyway, when this came off, a couple of them moved around, it looks like, and I didn't see because it was in the process of being put on. Alright, there. So as you can see, one of them is shorter than the rest. And that one, I suspect, broke. So there's a bunch of little bits in here. I can clean it out. I'm debating whether or not, because I'm pretty sure I can use one of the old ones. I'm going to think about that and then come back. So I'm opting for reusing one of the old ones. I slapped this one on here just to keep it kind of clean. I thought about reusing this one, but then immediately saw that it's chipped. Definitely do the method I did first both times, using just tapping in one side and using the whole thing to push through the other, because it works so much better. It's much easier and you're not going to end up doing what I did and causing problems with the joint. So learn from my mistake, please. So the lesson here is don't rush. I was trying to finish it so I could get to the grocery store on time. That happened, but anyway. And make sure you grease the U-joints before you use the car for any extended period of time. And now you guys can watch some of the outtakes in making this video. So I don't have any of the right tools to do this, so we're gonna try and use a screwdriver. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Yes, and just stab your finger with a screwdriver. It's the best. The best. Well, I need to file this dowel down more because it's not even doing anything yet. Or I can just accelerate the process with a bigger hammer. Nope, filing it is. Now I've got to get something else to hammer the dowel back out. Maybe this tiny hammer. That was super effective. Oh, this is already broken, so that's never going to work, man. Well, it's coming. Slowly. Getting something off should not be this difficult. Stupid. I don't know why you're watching me do this. I'm just gonna skip ahead. Sorry, just making sure that I'm not doing anything dumb. Maybe I've already done something dumb. Who knows? I think I did. I think I did a dumb thing, guys. Let's try that again and hold it this time. I wasn't recording again. Damn it. Let me do all of this over again just to... Alright, last clip. No! Do the dumb thing. This light makes everything difficult. Bring it back. Maybe I shouldn't even bother filming this.
Oh no, I'm loosening it. That was dumb.
I think I need to wash my window. Well, you're gonna stay there for a little bit, camera. Ah, there you are. So I've been driving the car for a while and it's just fine, and that works for me. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.